fans, and welcome to this edition of the Retriever Roundup. I'm Kayla Martinez. In this edition, we'll take a look into the hot streak of our men's and women's soccer team, listen up on the volleyball practice, and sit down with a cross-country senior to discuss her summer research. The men's soccer team faced two local rivals as they look to extend their winning streak. First hosting Navy here at the Retriever Soccer Park, and then traveling across town to the rainy Ridley Athletic Complex to face Loyola.
The Retrievers down 1-0 early, but a great hustle by Pete Caringi, frees the ball, gets it back to Gaetan Caltabiano, who scores the game-tying goal in the 19th minute, 1-1 at that point. Just over 8 minutes later, Caltabiano's serve is headed off the post by Omar Ballo, but then Marquez Fernandez scores his first Retriever goal with a diving header. Phil Saunders, a good diving save here late in the first half to keep UMBC ahead 2-1 at the break. In the second half, Navy would tie the game early on at 2 apiece. Caltabiano puts two balls into dangerous spots, but Navy comes away with it. We're tied at 2 after 90 minutes. Then the game-winning play, Jordan Becker knocks it in from a tough angle into the right side netting, setting off a wild celebration at Retriever Soccer Park. Becker's third career goal, all game-winning goals. The 15-game unbeaten streak continues. The Retrievers win it 3-2 in double overtime.
In the 12th minute, Mamadou Kansai takes a long shot that is just knocked away by the Loyola keeper. Just minutes later, Stephen Ho's cross into Kandine Dakers is headed high. At the half, the teams are scoreless. Less than 2.5 minutes into the second half, the Retrievers would strike when Dakers dribbles into the box and his shot is blocked but lands right at the feet of Gaetan Caltabiano, who puts it in the net to give the Retrievers a 1-0 lead. Just 7 minutes later, Spencer Williams crosses it for Pete Caringi III, who heads in his nation-leading 9th goal of the season. Loyola would cut it to 2-1, but Dakers would head in a goal in the 84th minute to give UMBC a 3-1 win.
The women's soccer team remains hot after holding on to a 3-game winning streak, the first since 2005. Now let's take a look into their victories over Bucknell and Wagner here at Retriever Soccer Park.
UMBC controlled play throughout. Alexa Caranta here, she ended up with 6 shots in the game. That one was rejected by the Bucknell keeper. Retrievers also out-cornered Bucknell 8-1. Here's a good offensive foray there. Doesn't result in a goal. It was scoreless at the half. Late in the game, Paige Preston a shot here. The Bucknell goalkeeper juggles it for a moment, but does secure the ball. Then Lauren Cadet, her best sequence of the game, a point-blank save, and she stays alert and pounces on this rebound here to keep the game scoreless. Then in the 85th minute, Melissa Hummel's corner kick goes toward the far post. Jessie Brown up, heads it into the far corner. The Retrievers would hang on for the 1-0 victory.
10 minutes in, Jessie Brown takes a shot that glances off the top of her foot and goes just high of the net. With 11 minutes left in the first half, Alexa Caranta drives into the box and takes a shot, but the keeper is just able to get a hand on it. Colleen McKenna has a chance early in the second half, but it is stopped just short by a Wagner defender. Wagner would take the lead moments later. In the 79th minute, Meg Kowalski slips a through ball to Amanda Daly, who knocks it by the keeper to tie the game. Less than 4 minutes later, Melissa Hummel's free kick is headed in by Jessie Brown to give the Retrievers a 2-1 lead. The Retrievers would go on to win 2-1.
It all really starts on Friday with Stony Brook coming right here to the rack. First match of the conference season here.
Yeah, Stony Brook's playing really well. They have some big wins as well this season. It'll be a great match. Hopefully we have a big crowd and we get off to a great start for the America East.
Now one more non-conference game before you start America East play, traveling up to Lafayette tomorrow. Yeah. What are you looking for in this final one before kind of the real season starts, so to speak?
Well, we want to stay healthy, and you know we've been battling some injuries, and I think it's important for us to go up with the same drive that we just keep carrying this momentum with us. We don't want any dips in our play. I mean, we went over some film today of just trying to tighten up some things that defensively in our midfield and even how we attack, just tightening these things up. But again, it's a whole team effort. We expect the whole team to be plugged in all the time because we never know when we're going to need someone to be a left back or a center midfielder. I mean, we have our girls all over the place right now, so we just need them to stay plugged in and keep working for the common goal.
After hosting the Maddie Bingham Memorial Tournament, the volleyball team held onto a 6-match winning streak before going into the Blue and Gold Players Challenge hosted by West Virginia University. The Retrievers maintain an 8-match streak while also claiming 18 straight sets before losing to West Virginia in 4 sets, improving their overall record to 9-5. With conference play only a week away, the Gold and Blue Players Challenge prepared our volleyball team for the tough grind for the America East. Now let's take a look into how head coach Ian Blanchard prepares his team for the opponents.
Here's the deal. You know, I've been looking at some numbers. Our team hitting error percentage, which is B and E together, which is blocks and errors together, is 15.3%. That's a very good number. So that's where we want to be approximately as a team. And I think we're doing a very good job, is what these numbers are telling us, in managing the game. So here are some goals that we want to do, you know, as we proceed into the conference season. We want to get an increased kill percentage from our 0-1. See an increased number of digs from both of our right side defenders and right back. We're not getting as much production as we need in that area. We're digging the ball at a higher number of digs per set this year than we were last year. So we're definitely better defensively, but but if there's an area where we want to see an increase, that would be the area where we want to see the greatest increase. We want to see an increase in blocks per set. And a lot of that's technical. You know, it's not about the effort. It's not about so much the effort physically from left to right. It's more about getting over the net on time. And so it's simply a matter of get over fast, get over fast. It's not a matter of closing. It's balls that you're touching that you're not blocking. Think about it this way, you know, like just get over. And the faster you can do that, the more blocks you're gonna get. We're gonna come out, she's gonna tell you what they're gonna do. She's gonna stand up off the bench. She's gonna come up and tell you this is the rotation they're in. This is what they're most likely going to run. Just make sure the communication level is where it should be, but make sure everybody's on the same page. So the way we practice from here on in, we really got to be attentive to details, all the little things, whether it's transition, coverage, the way I'm approaching the ball, my hands over the net versus not getting my hands over, you know, all the little things that it takes. The communication, we've gotten better in all those areas. Everything has to step up, because really at the end of the day, what's going to decide whether or not we go to the NCAA tournament is going to be how we play in conference.
Usually traveling south to the sunny state of Florida means relaxing at the beach or going to see Mickey. But not for Cody Mezebich, a senior on the cross-country team. Here's how she spent her time in the Sunshine State.
Good afternoon, Retriever fans, and welcome back to the In the Spotlight section. I'm Dan Lahette. Today I'm joined by cross-country runner Cody Mezebich, who in addition to running here at UMBC, had some exciting summer travels down to the state of Florida where she continued her research that she does here on campus. So welcome in, Cody.
Hi, thank you.
So you've started your senior season here at UMBC. How's that going for you so far?
Great. I'm really busy with schoolwork, of course, and running. We started practice throughout the summer, so we're just continuing in. Had 2 cross-country meets already. They went really well. Also working in the lab, continuing my research from last year and the summer on campus. So it's all keeping me pretty busy, but it's fun.
So it's fun, it's busy. What kind of research are we talking about? What exactly are you getting to do?
Okay, so in the lab, I started working with the Maryland subspecies of a songbird called the grasshopper sparrow. They're just tiny little brown birds. Nothing really spectacular about what they look like, but their behavior is what's most interesting about them. And there's a site out over the Chesapeake Bay where students have gone in the past and recorded their behavior and their song throughout the mating season, which occurs during the summer. And last year in the lab and prior years, students have gathered enough data and information to correlate behavior between their breeding cycle and the songs they sing that the males produce. And so it was really interesting to use that information, and I was given an opportunity to go down to Florida, like you said, and work with the Florida subspecies of grasshopper sparrow, because currently and the past years they've been critically endangered and on the verge of extinction. And the major goal of this summer was to go down, see how at risk the birds were of going towards extinction, if there were males out there, finding female mates, actually producing eggs and offspring to be viable for the next years to come. So it was really interesting to be able to use the Maryland subspecies behavior and data collection that we gathered and take it down to Florida. Even though they're different birds, still the same species, so we were able to correlate and bring all of that together.
Had a pretty good start to the season so far for the team. What are you looking for from the team as you build up through September, October, and then finally that America East meet?
We all feel strong, much better this year, comfortable with each other. Just work as hard as we can now that we've built that basic level of endurance and speed work.
For more information on Cody and the rest of the UMBC cross country team, log on to the University Athletics website, umbcretrievers.com. For In the Spotlight, I'm Dan Lahat.
Thanks, Dan. That sounds like an amazing opportunity. For this edition of the Retriever Roundup, I'm Kayla Martinez.